Okay, let me jog your memory for a bit. Who here remembers the animated comedy by the Farrelly brothers, Osmosis Jones? You know the one. The movie where a white blood cell cop, voiced by Chris Rock, teams up with a cold pill, voiced by David Hyde Pierce, trying to crack the case of a super virus, voiced by Lawrence Fishburne? Oh, and it had Bill fucking Murray! It was an interesting concept. The characters were likable, the villain really turned up the heat, but when the movie was over, I did have one lingering thought. Now imagine if this was an anime. Lazy transition? Sure, but you can't deny that an anime that takes place in the human body is so ridiculous and genius, I'm surprised it hasn't been done before. Cells at Work is an educational yet action-packed anime that takes place inside the human body. That's right, it's an engrossing anime coming to a body in you. The anime follows Red Blood Cell, who is one of 37 trillion cells who work around the clock to keep the human host healthy. Unlike Osmosis Jones, the body doesn't really have a character, it's just a random human body. It's either the most accident-prone body ever due to how many issues it has on a day-to-day basis, or it's the body of someone in their 80s, or hey, could be both. Red Blood Cell has one job, to deliver oxygen throughout the body. The anime literally depicts them as a delivery service, and that's just the start of the show's genius.
Patrick, your genius is showing.
Where?
White blood cells are elite militias that clear out the body of all the nasty viruses and bacteria, and it never gets old how over the top they are. There are some other characters too, such as macrophage, NK cells, and oh my Miyamoto, the platelets. These little things are so cute, I want to chuck them down the hall! Now, each of these characters look like your standard anime character, because of course they do. But I do like how the anime pulls it off by making the setting come off as a functioning society, rather than something fleshy and organic looking. The viruses also have some legit creative designs as well, and I can't help but burst out in laughter each time they get slaughtered and blood sprays all over our warriors. Especially with our main white blood cell having bloodstains on his face. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's a very humorous image. I don't want to spoil too much, but I definitely did not expect there to be a sympathetic villain backstory for cancer of all things. The story mostly focuses on the one red blood cell and her bond with the one white blood cell. They don't have specific names, just ID tags, but they call each other red and white, so that's what I'll be referring them to in this video. Each episode we are introduced to a new virus, a new cell, or a new bodily function. Red and white have good chemistry throughout, and the show does a good job of making you care for the cells. Not so much the body because, again, it doesn't have a character, but it's okay because you care so much for the cells within the body. The body is more of a world in this interpretation. The show's biggest draw is the fact that it can be informative while still being entertaining. There are moments when the anime will be giving out information in regards to biology, but it never feels like you're sitting through a lecture. There's plenty of action sequences and comedic bits to break up the informative narration. Honestly, you can learn a lot from Cells at Work. Its information is pretty accurate, but it does take creative liberties to get the idea across. If you haven't checked it out already, I highly recommend popping on to Funimation to watch Cells at Work. You won't be disappointed.